somewhere there's a someone.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tony's Kitchen. Today we're going to make homemade lasagna. But before we do that, we have a special guest here, and I want you to watch a movie clip before we get started. That's too funny. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to proudly introduce my friend, Jerry Lewis. I can't take that movie, it's too much. Okay, so let's get started. Here we have some fresh garlic. We have an onion, we're going to cut that up, chop it up in a chopper. Okay, so let's take some fresh garlic. We're going to cut it up. Just like this. Figure around 7 cloves of garlic. Cut that in half. Half again, and again. This way it does fit in the chopper. Put it in the chopper. We're going to use the whole onion. We're going to add some oil on a low flame. Remember, we want to brown the onions. That's what we're going to do. Now we're going to prepare our chopped meat. Take our meat. You could put this on a medium flame. No oil is needed. Anytime you touch any type of meat, always remember to wash your hands right after. You don't want to transfer the bacteria. So here we have our onions and garlic. And keep on stirring that. We don't want the bottom to burn. And let's see how our meat is doing over here. We're going to turn, when it turns brown on the bottom, we're going to keep on turning. Going to keep on mixing. We want to cook this well. Could put that on a high flame now, the chopped meat. Okay, as you can see, the chopped meat is done. Obviously we want to strain all the fat. We don't want to put that in our sauce. Obviously it's not healthy for you. So just tilt your pan. As you can see all this fat that we don't want to eat. And what we're going to do, I'm going to place this on the bottom. This way it lifts up the pan, and we leave it like that and let all the grease separate from the meat. And now over here you can see that our onions are starting to brown with the garlic. What we're going to do is we're going to take our can of sauce and put it right in. And we're going to mix this like that. And add your tomatoes. You want to use 5 cans of tomatoes. And for this, making lasagna, I like to use this type of tomato. It's crushed tomatoes with basil, garlic, and oregano. This is what I use to make lasagna only. As you can see, all that fat that's separated from the meat. So you could either take the meat from here and put it into the sauce, but I'm going to bring mine over to the sink and drain it out. Now that I got rid of all the fat, now I'm going to take it and put it right in my sauce. Mix that around. Now there's no reason to add salt. There's salt already in these cans of tomatoes. If you were using a fresh tomato, then you can add some salt. The only thing we're going to add now is some fresh basil. You don't have to add the basil, but I add basil. Cook this sauce for about an hour on a low, medium flame. Right now we're about 45 minutes into cooking this sauce. We're going to add a little sugar. And the sugar is to get rid of the acid from the tomatoes. Okay, so let's go over what we did so far. So far, we chopped up the onions, we cut up the garlic, we browned them with a little oil, and then we threw in our tomatoes. Let me tell you what we're going to need to make lasagna. You can use this aluminum tray, or you can use glass. It's up to you. It really doesn't matter. I prefer to use the glass. What we're going to need is a bowl, a mixing bowl. We're going to put in our ricotta, mozzarella, and the things that we need to fill the lasagna. Don't forget, we cooked the sauce for about an hour. You're always stirring the sauce. Remember, because you don't want to burn the bottom, so always stir the sauce. We fried up the chopped meat, and you want to get rid of all that grease. It's not necessary to have that grease in your food. It is not healthy for you. So, get rid of the grease. Right here, I have water boiling. Got to get a large pot. Boil the water. And this is how we're going to cook the lasagna. This is the lasagna that I use. I use ranzoni because I like the texture of the macaroni. But you could use whatever you want. Put that right into the boiling water. I'm going to make a large tray and a small tray. So I'm going to use 2.5 boxes. If you're going to make one tray, then that's all you need is 2 boxes. You want to make sure that it all goes in the water. A lot of people put salt in the water. It's not necessary because macaroni already has salt in it. Is it going to stick together? No, just stir it. Keep stirring. No matter what kind of pasta you're making, keep stirring the macaroni. As soon as you put it in the water, it won't stick together. There's no reason to put more salt. No, it's not like salt is good for you. Salt is not good for you. You want to just keep mixing it. Now we don't want to cook this. We don't want to cook the macaroni all the way. We want to cook it halfway. We want to make it al dente because we're still going to cook this in the oven. So we don't want to cook it all the way. Read the box. It tells you how long to cook the macaroni. And cut it down by like 2 minutes so that this way it's not fully cooked. You don't want it hard, but you don't want it mush. You don't want it mushad, right? No. If you overcook it and then you put it in the oven for another 40 minutes, it's going to be all mush. We don't want that. Keep stirring the macaroni. Turn it over. We're gonna let that cook, and I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, so let's put this all together. So far, we have our sauce ready. We have the lasagna pasta cooking. I'm gonna show you how to put the ricotta, the mozzarella together with some sauce. You'll see what I'm talking about. Let's get the ricotta. We're going to use a 3-pound ricotta. Again, I use part skim because why have more fat than what you have to? So it's better for you. So 3 pounds of the ricotta, and I use part skim mozzarella, already shredded. It's easier. Just pour it in. It's a 1-pound bag.